Does the VA have a 55-year or 55-year-old rule? As a retired VA rater, I will explain in this video, so you want to stick around. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD89 VA Claims Consulting, United States Army veteran, and retired VA rating specialist. In today's video, I am going to answer, as a former rater, does the VA have a 55-year rule? Okay, been getting a lot of questions for veterans, and I was like, wait a minute, explain. And then when they explain it to me, I'm like, oh, that's what they're talking about. So I am going to share with you some information to explain my answer. But before we get into today's video, make sure you click the link below and in the description section and order my new book, VA Claims Success, okay? You can click the link below, get a signed copy, or you can go out to Amazon.com and pick up a copy. But if you go there, it will not be signed. All right, so today's video, does the VA have a 55-year-old rule? And the answer is no. There is no rule as it pertains to 55-year or 55-year-old for veterans. Okay, now, what it is, there is a regulation that has 55 years of age when a routine future should not be established. Okay, so it's not a rule, it's part of a regulation and a reference. So if you say that to most VA employees, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Okay, because they're thinking, oh, the 38 CFR, the M21 reference. So I want to share some of this information, go over it with you, so if you're ever talking to a decision review officer or even a rater, you know how to explain it and you can quote this 38 CFR M21, okay? So as most of the time, I have a couple of slides I'm going to share with you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is the M21 manual reference. When not to schedule when not to schedule review examinations, okay? So routine future exams is up to the rater's discretion. When I started rating from day one, when I learned about routine future exams, I did not like scheduling. And I can tell you, at all the years I've been doing this, or even when I was rating, I can count on one hand how many times I actually scheduled a routine future exam. It was not a lot, trust me, just a handful of times, okay? So the 55 years of age, but when not to schedule review examinations, and it states, do not establish a future examination control in cases when, okay, and one of these wins is the veteran is over 55 years of age, except under unusual circumstances or where required by regulation, okay? So that also means if the veteran will be 55 years of age at the time of the routine future, the rating specialist is not to schedule a routine future exam. It's clear, okay? Now, unusual circumstances or where required by regulation. Where required by regulation is if the veteran has prostate cancer or any other type of cancer, okay? The 55 years of age exemption does not qualify for cancer patients, okay? If you have been diagnosed with prostate cancer or some type of other cancer, you will be scheduled a routine future exam. On several occasions you will, okay? But there's certain requirements under regulation. If you are in continued treatment, chemotherapy, radiation seed implants, they have to continue, meaning the VA has to continue that temporary 100%, okay? But when it goes back to watchful waiting and you're in remission, then they have to rate on the residuals, okay? So if you are diagnosed with any cancer and you're over 55 years of age, this does not pertain to you, okay? So again, this is not a rule, this is a reference, but when you look down at the bottom, it states 38 CFR 3.327 subpart B. This is what I like about the M21. You can come here, put in 55 years of age, this will come up, and then you scroll down to the bottom and it gives you the actual regulation. So slide number 2. And here's the regulation. 38 CFR 3.327, reexaminations, okay? And then 3.327 subpart B, section 2. And when you scroll down, you can see some of the same bullet comments you saw in the manual reference. I have highlighted in red. In cases of veterans over 55 years of age, except under unusual circumstances. Now, you got to be careful when you read 55 years of age. Okay, so 55 and up. So we want to keep that in mind when we're reading this regulation. Okay, but you can see some of the other items, bullet comments where it states when not to schedule a routine future exam. Okay, so it's straightforward and it's simple. Okay, it's not a rule. It's a reference and a regulation. Okay. But you have to understand the context that they're talking about, okay? 55 years of age and up, okay? Again, if the veteran is going to be 55 at the age that they're going to schedule their routine future, they're not supposed to. Or if the veteran is 55 years or older, okay? Now, like I stated when I was covering the slides, this does not pertain to if you have a cancer. Because if you look at the diagnostic codes for the cancer, any cancer, the regulation is clear. It may say grant a temporary 100% for 6 months, schedule a reevaluation, and what raters are looking for, this is something that I look for, when that veteran went out for that routine future for that cancer, when they came back, one of the first things I was looking for is the cancer in remission. If it's not in remission, I need to see what type of treatment is the veteran getting or receiving, and I look back at the regulation in the 38 CFR and say, okay, does this treatment allow me to continue the temporary 100%, and I may schedule another CMP exam 6 months out. So if you have a cancer and you're service connected for a particular VA cancer, then you want to go out and look at this regulation and see the different treatments, because if you're continuing to get this treatment, you want to make sure you have evidence. It might not be a bad idea to even ask your doctor, hey doc, how long am I going to be doing this treatment? And if he or she says at least 12 months, you can let the VA know that, and they shouldn't schedule that CMP exam in 6 months. They should schedule it 12 months out, okay? So you definitely don't want to be frustrated, and you have to get educated. And as always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.